What's up, people? Welcome to my 2025 full power e-bike shootout presented by Marin Service Course with support from E-MTB, Schwalbe, and Form Saddles. I'm here with my good friend, Nick Doman. We've got the Pivot Shuttle LT, the Crestline S180, the Gas ECC6, the Norco Range VLT, the Santa Cruz Vala, and the Mondraker Crafty. We're out here in Fairfax, California, the birthplace of mountain biking. No better place to run the latest and greatest e-bikes through their paces. In the upcoming videos, we'll be taking a deep dive into each of these bikes. But in this video, I just want to give you a little bit of a better idea of how we're going about this test, how it's structured.
Yeah, I'd like to say, big thank you to Peter for making this happen. Peter's the owner of Marin Service Course in Fairfax, California. A couple of these bikes are Peter's personal bikes, so huge thank you to him for, letting us go ride them. Two of these were brand new off the floor, which felt mildly uncomfortable taking a brand new bike to test, but was cool nonetheless. Massive thanks to Peter for making this happen. And once again, without him, this wouldn't have happened.
Like Nick said, incredible opportunity, and this e-bike shootout is kind of structured differently where we're working with a dealer that's partnered with all these brands, but we haven't talked to any of the brands directly about the bikes. So we're kind of on our own to review these bikes as we wish. Between E-MTB and Schwalbe, we have control wheel sets on all the bikes. That helps us isolate kind of the ride feel of each bike independent of the wheel set. I've had quite the journey with my wheels. Back when I did testing for Vital, I ran through all the wheels I could, including a set of E-MTB M9s, and they were decidedly one of my favorites, but they were quite stiff, and I ended up going to a rear specific E-MTB M9 and then a more compliant option up front from another brand. But now with this M9 Pro, they've pretty much built my dream wheel set. It has the rim strip that helps prevent pinch flats and makes tire installation super easy. And then they've gone to a front and rear specific layup for more stiffness in the rear, a more compliant front. And we found that on these bikes, it absolutely helps the handling. It's like an insane balance of being precise yet compliant, and it just makes the ride feel of these bikes super predictable. For me, these are kind of the whole package if you're looking to do aggressive riding on your e-bike, enduro bike, or downhill bike. I mean, it's no coincidence that Amaury Pierron and the Commencal Melkoff team, won a bunch of World Cups on this same tire and wheel combo. And I think that's a good segue into these tires. These are Schwalbe's new radial casing tires. Nick's been running Schwalbe for years. This was his first experience on the radials. What'd you think?
Yeah, so as stated, I've used Schwalbe tires off and on for a while now. Just the Magic Mary tread pattern has got to be one of the best all-around patterns for varied terrain. You can ride rocks, roots, hard dirt, soft dirt. It doesn't matter. It's going to pretty much do its thing and do it well. I'll say one of the complaints I had with the, super gravity casing is that when they're brand new, they were super stiff. It almost needed like a day of riding to become a pleasant tire to ride. It's just brand new tires are stiffer. It's not just a Schwalbe thing. Almost every tire has that. But that's one of the biggest things I noticed with these radials. They almost don't have a break-in period. You can put a brand new tire on and it feels pretty good right away. To me, they're smoother. They just conform to the terrain well. You have good traction. I feel like it's like a normal, the old Magic Mary, but just better. You couple that good tread pattern with a really good compliant casing that seems durable as well, and it just creates a very, very well-rounded tire. It saved me a couple, at least one time for sure. I was I'm probably hitting the ground and then didn't. So, I chalk that up to a really good tire and a little bit of skill. So happy with the tire.
They just make the whole ride feel of the bike feel just suppler, but the beauty with the radial casing is that doesn't come at the cost of support. We're whipping around these e-bikes on some pretty nasty terrain, and with the tire being incredibly supple, we're still able to get a very adequate level of support, and it's that balance that I haven't really found in another casing yet. And if you need more support, you can go to higher pressures. We definitely did. We were running about 31 out back, 27 up front. But even at those higher pressures, it's just really impressive how supple and forgiving the casing is. But it still allows you to slap corners and push these bikes into rocks.
It makes sense why Emery Perion can do what he does.
Yeah,
like
honestly, like after riding this wheel and tire combo, Emery Perion's runs make sense. Like I think there's a legit advantage in this setup. And then we got Forum Cycling on board, who provided all of our saddles. These are designed by bike fitters locally out here in the Bay Area. We've been putting huge miles on these e-bikes. It's been super nice to have a saddle that's really comfortable, especially for e-bikes. I mean, normal riding too. All the models have a little bit of flare on the back end of the saddle, so that just really helps when you're going up really steep stuff. Gives you a little bit of support so you're not having to like crunch with your abs and your upper body to pull you forward on the saddle. And yeah, technical climbing on these bikes is maybe one of the funnest things about e-bikes. And these saddles put you in like a really good position to do that and do it all day. So thanks to Forum, super quality products. But yeah, we're out here in Fairfax, California, the birthplace of mountain biking. You know, coming into it, I knew there were some good trails here, but after doing this test, I feel like that was maybe the best set of test tracks we could have done on these bikes. Nick, you're a loc, you've been riding these bikes for quite a while. What are the trails like out here?
It's just very varied. If I had to describe it in one word, it's just varied. It's a lot of varied conditions and a lot of varied even trail style, ranging from like occasionally really flowy to like incredibly not flowy. So you have to really learn how to maneuver a bike. And honestly, lots of times there's trees in the way. So you have to do like a maneuver around a tree, which is like, it's challenging, but the riding here is challenging, honestly. Like it is challenging. It's like lots of times people come here, they haven't ridden here, and they're like, wow, that's like not that sick. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like it's definitely harder to wrap your head around than most places. And in that, you know, because it's difficult, I think that makes it good for testing bikes. Like for example, Hobo, the one trail, which is actually like behind us on the hill, it's faster, flowier, more bike parky. And then the other trail is Solstice, which is pretty long for a descent. It's on the, say, like flatter side of things, but it does have some steep stuff. It has roots, it has rocks, it has a pretty gnarly rock garden. Essentially a test track I've used for my, you know, own bike setup for a very long time. If a bike's good on that, it's gonna perform most places without a ton of major changes. So that was the goal, is just find a route with good variety and I guess challenge to see what the bikes are about.
Even the lead into Solstice is a trail called 680, which is just kind of a fast flow trail, but it has a bunch of like really difficult flat corners, setup lines, like a more wide open machine built trail. And then you dive into Solstice and it's just like rocky, nasty. There's definitely rough sections to get these bikes upset in the suspension and chassis department if they're gonna be. I don't think there's like a better set of trails we could have ridden on. And it definitely like helped us articulate the differences in between all these bikes because we have such a varied terrain to ride them on.
The only thing we didn't have was giant jumps. Okay?
We have one jump, but
I went around it.
If you're not hitting the jumps, it's probably not the bike that's the problem. I don't know. I think that's about it.
I think that's enough talking.
Yeah, we'll leave you with a little hype edit to get you guys fired up. We're gonna go film and shred the piss out of these bikes for a little bit, get some clips. Stay tuned for all the review videos. They'll be dropping in the coming week or so. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks to Schwalbe, Envy, and Forum for supporting the shootout, and to Marin Service Course for providing all these bikes. We'll see you in the next one.